Hi, I'm Keith Atto, and this is a Tuesday morning market overview for October 13th, 2009. First, I'd like to note the disclaimer that this is not investment advice, and please contact your personal financial advisors before acting on this or, for that matter, any other information. Last week's earnings reports provided bullish sentiment to the market. Dow Jones last week was up 4%, with the NASDAQ and S&P up 4.5% each. Also today we have the markets off slightly, not very much. We have a big week reporting, especially on the earnings side. This week too in China's back from, it had holidays last week, China days, and it's back to work. Markets were up slightly this morning in the overseas overnight market in Asia. Certainly it didn't play catch up with the 4% we had in the West stock markets, Western stock markets. Also, we had monthly car sales reporting in China, which topped 1 million car sales for the month of September. This is the first time that's ever happened with monthly sales topping 1 million. And it's interesting to note too that General Motors China sold more cars in the first 9 months of 2009 than all of 2008. So a very significant increase. It sold actually 1.29 million cars. Also, China is continuing to invest globally for commodities, raw materials. It's committed $9 billion to infrastructure in Guinea for roads and other type of infrastructure. And China joint ventures currently are involved with electric power plants and offshore exploration in Guinea. As well, we have the Baltic Dry Index. It was up 14.96% last week, and all the sub-indices were basically up, with the Cape size being up the most. And this bodes well for an indication of strength in global trade. There is underneath that another story in the sense of oversupply of tonnage. And in the shipping industry, they're going to have to deal with this oversupply either through scrappage and or cancellation of new ships. Also, the oil contango is being unwound, and oil storage at sea has been reduced over the last few weeks as the price contango of crude has narrowed. Also, the declining value of the US dollar has been a factor in the narrowing contango, as oil futures are an integral part of currency trade strategy. We have also the US euro dollar rate. The US dollar has continued to devalue and is currently in a trading range between 146 and around 149 area. Currently it's in around the 148.40. The 148.40 at the upper end of the range, and expect pullbacks at large numbers. It will break through if it continues on, and it'll be interesting to note that. Also, as a side issue, unemployment in Canada fell to 8.4% from 8.7% in September, and it'll be fascinating to see if there's any similar action in unemployment in the United States. Also, earnings this week earnings reports include Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Intel, IBM, GE, and Google. Johnson & Johnson beat on their earnings per share estimates on their report this morning. However, it was light on revenue. And this is probably a story that's going to be repeated throughout earnings season, with earnings per share, cost cutting coming in stronger, and revenue being a little bit lighter. We also want to mention the effect of the US dollar. Global companies that are historically U.S. companies will have higher revenues based on translating foreign currency into U.S. dollars as the U.S. dollar devalues. So it's something to look for, and will probably mean increased share price on that one factor, everything else being equal. We also have some economic reports this week. Tuesday, today, the ZEW economic sentiment came out for Germany and for Europe, the Eurozone, and both those sentiments were light. And we see that the DAX was off a little bit this morning, as I understand the FTSE is as well. Although both of those have been slightly volatile this morning. Wednesday, tomorrow, we have, for the U.S., we have September retail sales and the China trade balance. And we also on Thursday have CPI and initial jobless claims. So all in all, it's going to be a very interesting week and an important week. So know your system, trade your system, keep safe. I'll be back on Monday with the Monday market overview. Until then, the best wishes and goodbye.